Hey y'all, hi. Okay, I am sat for my own video. I'm like, as they say, sat to film this video. This is my most worn wardrobe staples of 2025. I think it can be useful to reflect not just on what we wore a lot in any given year, but on why we wore each of those things a lot so that we can apply the knowledge as general wisdom going forward. So that's what I'm going to do today, and I can't wait. I guess I don't have to wait. We're doing it now. So disclaimer, as part of this job, I sometimes work with brands and I sometimes accept samples for review. So some of these things, a few of these things are things I didn't pay for with money. I mean, in a way, nothing is free, especially when it comes to the workplace, like any workplace. But I want you to keep the context in mind. However, I noticed when I was putting the list together that a lot of these things are things that I bought with my own earnings, in spite of the fact that I have received many lovely things for the purposes of review this year. So that is its own kind of really interesting context. And I'll try to remember as I'm going through to tell you which pieces were PR for review and which things I bought with my own money. Okay, it might be a long one. Everything is included. We got underwear in here. We got sunglasses. No stone has been left unturned. Let us get straight into the meat of the video. Okay, we're going to start at the top of the head and move down the body. Let's start with hats. Right now, winter, and also last winter, right? The second half of last winter and this winter, my most worn hat for sure is the Ozma Sierra beanie. This comes in a wool and a cotton, and I have the wool one. The reason it is my most worn, it's actually so interesting because it's something that I feel like you can't see when you look at the listing for this hat online. Online, it just looks like a really nice beanie. In person, it is so thick and chunky as to be almost absurd. It is like a truly oversized beanie, but it's not just big, for a big head. I mean, it isn't for a big head at all. It's oversized in the direction of its beefiness. It's almost absurd. It's a statement. It is a statement. When you look at it online, again, you can't really see what a statement hat it is, but it's just reined in enough not to be too ridiculous, at least not for me. It doesn't look like 5 times more massive than any given beanie. It looks like twice as big as a normal beanie, but it really does. I hope you'll be able to see it in the footage that I take. And I just love that about it so much. It's simple, it's minimal, but it feels very fashion. And that has caused it to complete outfits so beautifully in the winter and to add that little bit of extra edge. I cherish that. But the other thing about it is very, very warm. It is wildly warm. I sometimes feel like I don't need a coat because I have it. So to me, it is the perfect winter hat. In the summer, when I wore a hat, I wore this straw hat that I got for $16 at the hardware store. I hope I'll be able to find it so that I can link it. It's just like a random gardening hat. But I wore it to the zoo. I wore it at the beach. I wore it out and about. It's a bit dorky, but it's also kind of fashion in that way. And I feel like that piece, I mean, that gardening hat that I got at the hardware store, that really helped me mix high and low and protect my face from the sun in the summer months. Mix high and low is a reference to a recent fashion video, which I will link in the cards in case you haven't seen it and you'd like to click through. Okay, moving down to sunglasses, they're the next highest thing on the list. My most worn sunglasses this year by far, have been the Amelia sunglasses from Machete in the shade, I think it's Modern Walnut. That's what it's called, Modern Walnut. But all of the colorways of these sunglasses are beautiful. They are very, very beautiful. But the thing that keeps me reaching for them, the reason that I'm always disgruntled when I can't find them and I have to wear some other pair of sunglasses, is that they are so lightweight. I never knew I would become someone who values the lightweight quality of sunglasses so much, but I just find I feel so much more comfortable wearing them because they're so lightweight. They're also really sturdy and lovely and, they have a presence. They're fashion enough to work for me. But it's when I'm going out, I'm going to wear sunglasses. I've learned that I want to feel like they're just floating on my face. I also feel like the fact that they're lightweight makes it feel more like they're going to stay on. Thick, heavy, chunky, fashion sunglasses, sometimes it just feels like they're going to slide right off. I don't feel like I can really inhabit my body when I'm wearing them. I have to be a little bit careful when I'm moving around so that they don't fall off. I don't like that. I like to really be in my body in my everyday life. And I feel like with these sunglasses, I'm free. They are definitely my best sunglasses of all time so far. And I'm very glad to be able to tell you about them because I don't usually have occasion to do that on my YouTube channel. So there you go. The other pair of sunglasses that I wore the most this year, a true dark horse in my sunglass collection, my pink Gucci sunglasses that I bought myself. Oh, I haven't been doing a good job of telling you. So far we're half and half. Ozma sent me the Sierra beanie a couple of years ago, and I've worn it like every winter since then. The hardware store hat I bought myself. The Amelia sunglasses were sent from Machete for review. These Gucci sunglasses I bought myself at Nordstrom Rack 4 years ago. I was just looking for some sunglasses with character, and I was also looking for sunglasses that didn't have too dark of a lens. That's another thing I like about the Amelia sunglasses in modern walnut specifically. You can see my eyes through them, and the world isn't too dark, right? So they don't really inhibit my vision too much. I feel like I can sit at a cafe and talk with a friend, and that friend can see my eyes through them. I don't know. I like having my eyes protected from the sun, but without it being like it's nighttime when I'm wearing the glasses, you know? So I was looking for that. I think I just selected Gucci sunglasses and like sorted them from least to most expensive at Nordstrom Rack. And these ones were on super sale. I mean, they were still Gucci, so it was still like a choice to buy them. You know, it wasn't like they were $20 or something, but I think they might have been less than $100 though, which for Gucci sunglasses is pretty amazing. They're from Nordstrom Rack, but they were brand new. Something about this is very not me, right? These sunglasses are very not me. They're pink, probably the only pink thing, except for that ill-advised Baba vest that I have. The only pink thing really in play in my wardrobe. And they're pretty statement making. And that is exactly why I like them, because sometimes when I'm about to walk out the door and my outfit is just feeling a little bit blah for some reason, or a little bit too polished, and I feel like I'm in disguise as somebody who takes herself more seriously than I actually do take myself. That's what it is. These sunglasses are always the answer. They're easy to wear, effortless to add to an outfit, and they recontextualize everything. And that has just come in handy a lot this year, and I have really relished it. Okay, going even further down, earrings. By far my most worn jewelry this year has been Idyl. It's this modular lab-grown diamond jewelry that you see me wearing in like every video, but it doesn't always look the same because I am always rearranging it. So sometimes like classic, symmetrical, simple. Sometimes it's like that diamond encrusted ear look of which I am so fond. But essentially not a day has gone by this year when I haven't had Idyl jewelry in my ears, which made them a perfect fit to sponsor this video. Idyl's today's brand sponsor. So I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the brand. Idyl is designed in Antwerp and also made in Antwerp by in-house artisans at their atelier there. Antwerp is the diamond capital of the world, in case you didn't know. And Idyl handpicks the top 1% of lab-grown diamonds. And I think most people know this by now, but lab-grown diamonds are compositionally the same as natural diamonds. They're just much more affordable, especially the high clarity ones like these when compared to natural diamonds with the same ratings. The settings are all 14 karat gold. This really matters to me because I like to leave them in so you can wear them showering, sleeping, swimming, etc. without any damage or tarnish. The sparkle and quality are unreal, as you can see in the footage. I have loved working with Idyl this year. I genuinely love this jewelry, and I really love the work because it's such a pleasure to capture camera footage of these diamonds blazing and sparkling and throwing rainbows. And over the course of this year, I'd say I have gotten even more into the way that this jewelry transforms and adapts to my moods and to the various settings of my life. I just get a lot of pleasure out of interacting with this jewelry creatively. So this month I've been playing around with a pair of Audrey add-ons. They turn an Idyl stud into an evil eye shape and add a lot more sparkle. I got them in white gold too. So this is my first foray into mixing metals with Idyl, and I love, love, love the way that the Audrey add-on in white gold looks with a yellow gold stud. This is really the cool and edgy side of Idyl, I feel, which is delightful. My experience is that the looks with Audrey feel so fresh, but you know, it's still diamonds and gold. So still so luxurious and elegant and durable. I've gotten to test kind of a lot of jewelry this year, and to me, Idyl has emerged as kind of as the paradigm of like contemporary luxury, the new luxury. It's refined, but it's also effortless. It's like really thoughtful thoughtfully and intentionally designed. It's made to be lived in. And I have been living in it. Absolutely a favorite of the year. I'm so grateful to be working with Idyl. And of course, I'll link all of these pieces in the description box down below. I mean, I'll be linking everything in the description box down below that I'm talking about today, everything that I can. We'll see about that hardware store hat. Okay, moving on down the body, but starting from the inside, let's talk about bras. There's the old and the new, right? I've been wearing my old favorites still a lot this year, which are the Negative soft bras, like the non-underwire bras from Negative. Negative is such a good brand to know about. They just make extraordinary, lovely, minimal underwear. I talked about them in my gift guide. I'm talking about them again here because truly the most comfortable Negative bra is the non-wire whipped bra. It is so wonderfully comfortable and surprisingly supportive for its shape. However, I like a bra that goes all the way down. I like to wear it. You know this about me, right? I like to expose my breastbone all the way down to here. I like this. I like to wear a very, very deep V. If a bra is not open all the way down to its band, then it will show underneath like a cardigan, like for example, a cardigan like this. I love to wear an oversized cardigan, open all the way down to here and show skin like all the way down to there. The most useful silhouette for me of a bra is one that is like a non-wired bra. It's like a triangle bra. So the Negative triangle bra is probably the most useful one to me and my most reached for because of the way the silhouette looks under clothes. But under like a tight ribbed t-shirt or something, the non-wire is actually a bit of a better silhouette because I don't know, it's just a little bit more overall like of a supported and rounded situation. But those are my two favorites from Negative. I also have tiptoed though this year into the realm of underwire bras. My Negative bras I all have bought. Right? Those are all things those are the bras that I buy myself. When I need a bra, I buy it from Negative. This brand Cup sent me a couple of underwire bras. I was a little bit skeptical at the beginning because they felt a little tight across the top at the beginning. And then I realized that they just needed to relax a little bit. It's like after I wore them one time, they fit perfectly. So the thing that I like about the Cup bras is that they aren't padded. I like bras that aren't padded. And I found it's actually hard to find a nice, really well-made underwire bra that doesn't have any padding. That's not like this breastplate or like bulletproof vest you're putting on your bosom. I don't like to feel like I have this padded infrastructure on top of what's already there. I like the support of the underwire, but then I want the material of the bra just to be like one layer of fabric, like one thin layer of fabric. And I finally found bras that are shaped like that from Cup. They have one that's like a mesh and they have one that is just like a single layer of fabric and I like them. I've definitely worn those a lot this year and they've served kind of a slightly different purpose from the ones from Negative. They also are open all the way down to the band, right? Because of the shape. I don't know exactly what the name is of the Cup bra that I've been loving so much, but of course I will link it down below. Let us move on to the next layer out, t-shirts and tank tops. So by far my most worn like t-shirt tank top situation this year has been those organic cotton micro rib t-shirts and tank tops from Quince. I have talked about them every time I have talked about Quince. I feel I've sung the praises of these. I'm not sure they're always in stock. They've kind of flashed in and out of stock. They eventually started offering them as individuals instead of just a 3-pack, but then they were like only in one color. I'm not sure what the stock situation is going to be. Both the ribbed t-shirt, which is like a baby tee silhouette, like just a little bit cropped and fitted, and the cropped ribbed tank top with those really big thick cuffs have been amazing for me this year. And I bought a couple of 3-packs of different colors. Like I have a lot of them. They're all these sort of undershirts, but I don't only wear them under. I wear them as tops. They're like their whole own separate category of my clothes that I depend on all the time. I'm constantly getting dressed, putting on like pants, everything else. And then I'm like, I need one of those Quince tops. Sometimes it doesn't even matter. Like if it's white or black, which are the two colors that I have, or if it's the t-shirt or the tank, it's like they all work beautifully for anything that I might be going to wear. And they go so well with high-waisted pants, jeans. I can dress them up kind of if I'm going out dancing, for example. They work with like a silk skirt. They work to mix high and low. I sometimes wear them to bed if I can't find something else. Like they work for loungewear. They're just versatile, sturdy, cute, wash and wear pretty well. I recommend sizing down in them to get that really fitted look. I got a couple in medium, which is like my usual size for tops, and I think small is a better fit for me. But oh my goodness, what a year it was for those micro-ribbed cropped tanks and tees for me in my life. I think I had one of those on my body on more days than I didn't in the year of 2025. Okay, and my other favorite this year for tees and tanks is like the very upscale, very elevated version of that same type of thing, which is clearly a type of thing that I really, really like. This brand, LNA. So I bought all of my Quince ribbed stuff. I mean, sometimes Quince sends me things when I'm making a sponsored video for them, but I was like, I realized how good those were, and I was like, I need these in my life. I bought them for myself. LNA sent me a couple of tanks just for review, and it's like I save them for when I want to look really cute, which is sometimes just around the house. Like sometimes just wear them as loungewear. Just the way that the necklines are cut it's so spot on. They look luxurious. They feel very luxurious. The fabrics are really sturdy. One of the tank tops they sent me is like double lined and really supportive. So depending on your shape, it's something you might be able to wear without a bra, and depending on what you're doing, they are just so beautiful to the point where I put one on last week and I was like, I have got to remember to include this in my end of year roundup for favorite tank tops, because I just really, really, really respond to the choices that the brand has made in designing the shapes of their tanks, the fabrics they've selected, everything. Okay, let us talk about shirts. And by shirts, I mean what the people always mean, which is like shirts with a button and a collar, which is like a kind of shirt I really love to wear. So much so that it was a little bit difficult to truly narrow it down to two and to really be sure that I'm reporting correctly about which are the ones that I wore the most, because I do love a shirt. But I do believe that my two most worn shirts were these. One, that shirt from Fabric. You know, the brand Fabric that I work with sometimes. One of the things they sent me early in the year when I first got connected with them was this denim shirt with like a brown fabric collar. I didn't think I would like it as much as I did. Like I almost didn't select it from the things that they offered to me. And they were like, would you like to try any of these? I almost didn't select it. And then it arrived, I put it on, and I was like, this is what it looks like to feel cool. Or like, this is what it feels like to look cool. I put it on and I was like, I cannot believe it. It was just some sort of alchemy, right? Something just like happens with that shirt. It just looks so cool. The way that it slouches, the way the fabric drapes, the casual legacy, the legacy of denim, everything of which it speaks. Everything of which denim speaks. I have worn that shirt when I have felt that I needed to feel cool. Like this year, that's what I have worn. And again, sometimes it has just been around the house. I wore it to work in the garden. I often wore it to cook supper. I wore it on the weekends when I was just like parenting, out and about. I wore it in the summer. I wore it in the fall. I am wearing it in the winter. It is the shirt. I have worn it so much this year. It's beautiful. It's durable. It's very cool. It is not trying too hard, but it's also not doing too little. I just have worn the ever-loving F out of that shirt. Okay. But the other shirt that I've worn a lot was one that I bought myself. A very expensive shirt that I bought myself. Oh, well over 2 years ago at this point, 2.5 years ago. I bought this I went to the Jenny Kane's store and I bought this raw silk shirt that I think they don't carry anymore, actually. Or maybe it's just a summer thing and they don't have it anymore right now. I'm sure it's out there on the secondhand market. I love this shirt. I have washed it in water a lot and it has sort of seized up a little bit. It's smaller and the sleeves are shorter than it was, significantly so, I think, when I first got it. It's supposed to be dry clean only. That's okay. I would rather have that happen and then be able to continue washing it in water and not have it be so precious. The fabric texture is still really lovely. It's still really drapey. The fit is lovely. The kind of creamy, natural color of the raw silk I find is really lovely. And it has all of the same qualities of the shirt from Fabric that I was talking about, in that it's durable, but it's also very, very beautiful. It's comfortable. It's like not too hot, not too cold. It kind of works in all seasons. It works on a lot of different occasions. It can kind of be dressed up, but I mostly wear it to be like casually elegant, but dressed down, like not dressed up. And it works. It always works. I just wore it so many times this year. Both of those shirts I wore so many times. They were kind of like my uniform, especially in the spring and summer, just pants or jeans and one of those shirts. I'm passionate I'm passionate about those shirts. They've really gotten me fired up. Okay, let's move on to something else about which I am passionate. Well, actually, we'll save knitwear. I'm going to talk about summer tops. So those shirts, those are like that category was long sleeve shirts. Those were my two most worn long sleeve button collar shirts. And they were like spring, summer clothes for me. In the summer, like a summer top, right? Not a tank top or t-shirt, not a blouse like that, but like a little summer top. This knitted boucle vest from Ozma. I did buy an Ozma vest, the black one, the black sort of open work knitted one. And this one they sent to me. This year, this is the one that I wore the most. Again, I don't think it's available anymore. It was like a summer thing for them. Maybe. Sometimes they have some summer things like on sale on the website into the fall, but I don't think it is still there. However, Ozma does often make things in their cotton boucle, different things. Like in the fall, they'll sometimes make sweaters in it. And it is just such a beautiful, beautiful fabric. Kind of slinky, very breathable, but also a little bit cozy, visual texture, physical texture. There's something about the cut of this vest. It looks very vintage. It really, really does look like a vintage piece. It always made me feel a little bit stylishly vintage, but it's casual as well. It also has it shimmers kind of between masculinity and femininity. It shows a lot of skin, right? It's a deep V, arms are bare. It's not super cropped, but it is a bit cropped, like cropped enough to work with high-waisted things. So it has, I don't know, like the femininity of exposure of the body kind of is going on when one wears it, but it's also a vest, and it's a very vesty vest. I found it was the answer to a lot of wardrobe and situational problems in the summer. Often when I was like, well, what shall I wear? I really want to look and feel my best, but I don't want it to be too labored. That vest was often the answer. It also washed and wore incredibly well. For all of those reasons, I think it was one of my most worn pieces through the summer. Okay, knitwear. So this winter, like this fall and winter, unexpectedly, one of the sweaters that I received from a brand as part of a brand sponsorship has become like the only sweater that I want to wear. It's that black and white lily silk sweater. I talked about it in the video. In that sponsored video, I said, I have worn this absolutely everywhere. I have worn it like every day since it arrived. And that has continued to be true. It's just why though? I need to keep remembering to tell you why. It has to do with it's like, did I say in that video, it's like a chimera of formality? I was talking about formality levels. This sweater, it just, again, flickers between modes. Like if I'm dressed down, it'll be the fanciest and nicest part of the outfit and it'll kind of be elevating the outfit. If I'm dressed up, it adds sort of like a casual slouch to an outfit and just helps to balance it. It tinkers. Every outfit, I add this sweater and it just tinkers with it a little bit and makes it feel really balanced and lovely. It also is like a mix of black and white. It's like a marled knit. And so in that way, it is sort of the yin and the yang. You know what I mean? It's like two things mixed together. I feel like a marled look like that can look classy and high end and can also look quite casual. It sort of belongs in both of those contexts. So that contributes to it. Stylistically, it's just a really easy piece to wear and a very easy piece to style. That's been one reason. And it belongs in a lot of settings, right? Also though, it's very soft. Like the surface of it is very soft. So if I'm feeling a little uncomfortable, if I'm feeling a little skin crawly, if I'm feeling like I just need to be cozy, there's no physical barrier. There's no like sensory barrier to me putting that sweater on. And that means that it gets picked up more often than other things. And it's warm, but it's a bit lightweight. It has like that heavy drape, but kind of a thin fabric. That is a beautiful combination, right? Because it feels cozy and beefy enough to keep me quite warm if I'm going to be putting on a coat and going outside. But I don't feel like I'm going to overheat in it and sweat in it if I'm wearing it around the house. It's balance, right? It's checking like all of these boxes at once. It's checking boxes that most sweaters only check one and not sort of the opposite box. You know, it's like simultaneously checking many equal and opposite boxes for some reason. I mean, I did, as soon as I saw it, I was like, wow, that's really beautiful. I mean, I knew it was going to be a great sweater. I feel like I didn't expect it to be so compellingly versatile and to be worn so much. So I had to mention that one because it's actually been it's been standout. It's been remarkable. There have been so many times when I'm like, what sweater should I wear? And then I'm like, oh, of course. So my other most worn knitwear, and this goes all the way back to last winter as well, the first part of the year, the second half of last winter, and is true again this fall and winter. I have a couple of different colors in the Baba number 17, which is their like huge, chunky, rough merino wool turtleneck. I did a whole video back in the day, deep dive reviewing only this one sweater. So I'll remember to link that. It is still the brown one that I reviewed in that video. And then the other two that I now have, I have a camel colored one and a red one. They are still my most worn sweaters. And it's because they are so warm and I get cold. I get so cold. And I treat them sort of as loungewear around the house, in addition to feeling like they are fashion and they're beautiful and they look great to wear out and to wear to things. And when I say that, what I mean is this. I usually wake up in the morning, get out of bed and put on one of those sweaters in the morning, like when I'm going to make my matcha and make a fire in the fireplace and get my kid up and get him ready for school. Like, you know, the way people wake up and like put on a bathrobe to keep warm as they're going about their business in the morning, or maybe a fleece or something. For me, it's a Baba 17. They're loose enough to like go over my pajamas or whatever else I might be wearing underneath to layer over with no problem. The warmth is there. They're so warm. They're sturdy enough that if I drop scrambled eggs on one, or if I like spill matcha on it, or if I got like my toddler snot on it or something, I can just like brush it off, wash it off. They wash really well. Like hand wash, but in the washing machine is what I do, like wash on delicate, lay flat to dry, and they're in perfect shape, good to go. But you know, they don't hold on to stink. They're just really workhorses. The Baba 17 to me is like a real workhorse with the additional benefit of being breathtakingly beautiful, really, really, really beautiful. And so I do also end up wearing them out and about as well. Okay. Moving down the body, and I think we're going to do coats. Yeah, we'll do outerwear at the end, right? Moving the rest of the way down the body. But again, starting on the inside, let's talk about underwear. I have been on more of an underwear journey. I have continued along my underwear journey. I'm not going to bore you with the details, but what I will say is that the underwear I am most wearing right now is the Aerie boy briefs, which I stumbled upon because I was doing a lot of research about the most comfortable underwear that's full coverage and that has like a wide gusset. You know what I mean? Like underwear that doesn't get really, really, really narrow between the legs. I surprised myself by falling for these from Aerie, which I've never bought anything from Aerie. I'm not an Aerie customer, but I am now just for this one garment. So I tried the high waist. I thought it was going to be the high waisted ones for me. I tried the high waisted and the low waisted. On the website, the low waisted ones look so low waisted. It looks just like a little tissue, like a little ribbon. I was like, that can't be those. But those are the ones everybody's freaking out about. If you Google like the best wide gusset full coverage briefs, they're like these. I was like, okay. So I tried them. It's the low-waisted ones. They're just perfect. They don't cling. They don't ride up. They don't cut in. I like the ones in the ribbed modal fabric, but I also like the ones in the cotton fabric. They are quite affordable. You can get I think they have a 5 for, if you buy a bunch at once, the price goes down and it becomes really quite affordable. It's 10 for $45. I might be making that up. I just feel like I was able to get a lot of them so that they are all my underwear now, pretty much. So I also tried a couple of brands for thongs because I didn't like the Aerie thongs. So that's what I've been wearing for briefs. For thongs, the ones I ended up liking the most are from this brand, La Cucci, that specializes in a wide gusset thong. So I'll link those down below. I haven't stocked up on the La Cucci thongs. I just got a couple of them, but they're the ones that I tried a bunch of brands of underwear. I guess I could make a whole video about it. I'm not going to go into it right now. I tried a bunch of brands. And so I have some that are fine. You know what I mean? I have others. So I'll wear others that I got to test, but the ones from La Cucci, when they're clean, they're the first ones that I want to wear. They're my best ones. And when it's time to get more, those are the ones that I'm going to get. Ooh, jeans, denim. I am wearing a lot more denim now than I did before this year. That's been a huge, I said in a video, life update. Life update. I'm now a denim wearer. I understand the value of denim stylistically and in terms of comfort and all of this stuff. I'm just wearing a lot of denim right now. I'm so glad I'm getting a chance to tell you about these. The best jeans have been the Ozma Una jean. Is that what it's called? Yeah, the Ozma Una jean. The Ozma Field Pant, one of the most extraordinary pairs of pants on the market, and I've sung its praises in so many videos. You already know, right? I love the Ozma Field Pant, and I have worn those pants a lot. However, I am tall, and they are a little bit cropped, and it doesn't bother me with a field pant because I size up, and they're designed to fit quite low, sit low on the waist, so they're just, because they sit low on me, slouchy, they're just long enough for it not to be awkward. But as time has gone on, I've really craved a truly ankle-length slouchy jean, and Ozma released this jean some months ago at this point. I've been wearing these jeans almost exclusively for months and haven't told you about them until now. I'm so sorry. They released these jeans. They're not quite as wide-legged as the field pant, which I think is good. It's a gently curved leg. And so they're very cool. They're not doing too much in any one direction. They're not swamping you. They're not too tight. They're skimming. They are skimming the body, and they're skimming the legs all the way down to the floor, even on me, a little cuff sometimes, right? The silhouette, the comfort, they are so cool. I have the black ones. They are so beautiful. I love these jeans so much that I sometimes am like, I should buy another pair. Ozma did send these to me. Okay, these were a brand gift. I'm doing so badly. No, I've been doing okay. Lily Silk sent the sweater. Baba, I bought all of those Baba number 17s for my sins. Those are all just sweaters I bought myself. The underwear I've all bought myself. Okay, so we're caught up. Ozma did send me these jeans. I'm this close to buying them in the other color. They come in like a dark denim, but to me, the black, the faded vintage black, the softness of it is what contributes to how great they are. So I should probably try to resist getting them in another color because I would just love the black one. I will only ever love the black ones the most. That is such an expertly designed and contemporarily perfect pair of jeans. I have also been wearing some of the jeans from Fabric a lot. So Fabric is a brand that I've worked with for a couple of videos this year, and they've sent me a pair or two of jeans a couple of times. It's hard for me to even narrow it down to which ones I've worn the most because a lot of the designers that work with Fabric have been making, probably because it's really trendy right now, very high-waisted jeans that are they sit on the hips and then they sort of bell out like a gently wide leg jean that's quite long. And again, very high waisted. So I feel like the hips and sort of bottom are flattered, but then they're like, they hang loosely from there. They just look and feel so cool. It's like very Gen Z, very, very young, very now. And they fit so well. Like they all fit me so well. I think it's partly my body type. I think I've just been waiting my whole entire life for this silhouette of jeans to be popular. But they're also beautiful and very well designed. And they're also, they have that je ne sais quoi, you know? I think probably the one pair that I've worn the most has been the Clarice jeans, those two-toned ones. Again, just like the denim shirt from Fabric, I didn't expect to fall so hard for them. When I saw them online, I was like, oh, that's a little bit doing a lot, you know? And then they arrived, I put them on and I was like, this is me now. I was like, look at me. They are so cool. They are just so cool. And they're really comfortable. Like I wear them as if they are sweatpants. I wear them around the house. I wear them as if they're sweatpants. I wear them out. I layer them under things. I love those jeans so much. And if I can think of like the other most worn jeans from Fabric, because there are a couple, I'll link them, but the Clarice ones are a good stand-in. Like they are a good choice to sort of represent how much I've enjoyed that silhouette in jeans and how much I've specifically enjoyed the ones from that brand. Okay, let's talk about pants. Pants, it's so interesting. My pants experience has been very interesting this year. I love a pant. I love a trouser. You know I love a trouser. The two pairs of trousers that definitely emerged as my most worn, it sort of surprises me. And I also think both of them are really interesting case studies. Okay, I'm just going to tell you about them. Towards the end of summer, I bought from The Real Real, which is an online designer consignment shop. So they're like secondhand, being resold, a pair of trousers from the Frankie shop. They are very oversized to begin with. They're designed to be oversized. They're also too big. They're like at least one size too big, if not two sizes too big. So they sit really, really low on my waist. It's like very 90s. And it's a trouser. It's a blend. The material is a blend, but it sort of has a look and feel like a very lightweight wool trouser. They're sort of a washed out taupey color. I wanted to wear nothing but these pants for so many months in the summer and the fall until now it's like a little too cold. Like they're a little thin. It's a little too cold to wear them now. And when the day came that I put them on and I realized it was a little too cold to wear them, I was like sad. Like I can't wait to get them out again next spring. There is just something about the sloppily oversized, way too big, way too low-waisted, but still undeniably sharp and menswear inspired trousers that got me going so hard. Like those pants were it for me this year. Like they probably deserve sort of the crown of like the most obsessively worn item possibly of all of the things on this list. Like when they got here and I put them on and I fell for them, I was like, and we're done. Like it's just this until the end of time. They are so good. It might be worth it to me to try to find like a winter version. I actually might have some pants, some like wool flannel pants I bought towards the end of we'll report back. I just got a little idea, but I'm not going to tell you about it. Okay. The other pair of pants that or my most worn are these black cotton linen blend pants from the brand Rouge, which I don't have that much experience. I don't have that much experience with Rouge. I got these at a consignment shop. I bought them myself. I bought them secondhand in person. And I think that they are a couple sizes too big for me because I think I found these pants at some point. I did some sleuthing and I found them listed on the Rouge website. This was like 2 years ago because I've had these pants for a really long time. These cotton linen pants. I've probably had them for like 6 years. I think they're supposed to fit quite fitted. They're supposed to be like high-waisted, fit on the waist, and be pretty fitted through the hips and leg, and then be like a little bit cropped at the ankle. On me, they're really loose. They're like low-waisted, very drop crotch, and they're almost all the way down to like past my ankle, right? And I like them like that. They feel it feels like I'm wearing like a man's pants. It feels like I'm wearing a man's pants. Both of these trousers feels like I'm wearing the pants of some man, like actually like my dream pant, my dream trouser. It feels like the pants of some man. And that's what this is. You know that inspo image of mine that I've been showing you all year of that painter in her studio with like the oversized white or maybe pinstripe shirt with the rolled up sleeves and then black trousers that are cuffed. These pants from Rouge that I've had forever, they're almost threadbare. Like it's a situation where I'm going to sit down one day and just the seat is going to like dissolve a hole into itself. Like that's how worn they are. I've worn them so much. They are the closest thing I have to the pants in that image. Like they are my version. They are that for me. And that is, especially in the summer, like that was the paradigm of my style. Like that was how I wanted to look and feel all the time. So that's why I wore these pants so much. They're also, again, they're just so unprecious. They're beaters. They're beat up. I gardened in them. I wiped my hands on them. I washed them a 1,000 times. You know, they're just very, very, very well loved and lived in. And that is another reason that I continue to wear them so much because they just feel like part of my body. All right, I have a category here that I'm calling finery because I wanted to tell you about the clothes that I wore the most in the context of dressing up because they aren't the clothes that I wore the most because I didn't dress up as much as I dressed down this year. You know what I mean? But when it was time, like on all of the occasions this year for which it was time to dress up, what did I wear the most within the parameters of those occasions, right? I feel like that's interesting. That's a question worth answering. And I actually have 3 things to tell you about. So one is a pretty recent purchase, but I have worn it every time I've had even the slightest reason to wear it. And that is this unbelievably beautiful, heavy lacework top from Cezanne. So I bought some pieces from Cezanne just to see what the big deal was about because everyone's always asking me about Cezanne and I'm like, I don't know. So I bought this top and oh my goodness, I currently feel like there's nothing I love more in my wardrobe. I love this top so much. So I've worn it many times just in the past couple of months. I've worn it to brunch. I wore it to dinner. I wore it to a baby shower. I will definitely be wearing it through the holiday season. Like this is going to be my holiday dinner shirt for sure. It is just perfect to me. I love that it will make sense in the summer. Like I'm going to be wearing this top in the middle of summer with linen pants or shorts or something, and it's going to make sense. I'm also going to be wearing it at Christmas dinner, and it's going to make sense. What a unicorn. Like, is that not gorgeous? So I absolutely love this. It's like an instant classic for me. It is one of my most worn. I'm so excited about it. I can't even talk. It is my most worn piece of finery from the past couple of months. It is destined to be one of my most worn pieces of finery of all time. That's how I currently feel. I love it. I love it. I love that it has that femininity of Cezanne, but it's really slouchy and oversized on me because I sized up. I love it. Okay, moving on. The Ozma Harper Maxi skirt, which is, I think it's being discontinued. I looked, last time I talked about it, I went to link it and they only had like one size in one of the colors left. So maybe they'll re-release it. I'll try to find out. I would have loved to get this in another color actually. I have this beautiful sort of greenish gray and this was a brand gift. The Cezanne shirt I bought myself and I think you're all caught up on all the pants I bought myself, I told you. Ozma sent this skirt to me, I think when it had first launched a couple of seasons ago. And I talked about it recently in a video. It took me like a year to get on board and then I started wearing it all the time. And it's another piece that I have taken any excuse to wear. Like I wore it to anything that I could wear it to because it's one of my favorite things. It just made me feel so good. It is dramatic, but it's also effortlessly wearable. It is such a pretty piece. I love that skirt so much and I'm sorry that it's being discontinued. You know, the Quince silk maxi skirt, if you size up a little bit in it so that it's really like low on the hips and really long, I guess depending on your height. That's how it works for me. If I size up in it, kind of provides the same thing that this Ozma skirt provided, except that it's shiny. And the thing about the Ozma one is it has that sort of shimmering matte quality that makes it a little bit easier to dress down. But depending on how upscale your dressing or what the occasion is. Silhouette wise, I think that the Quince Silk Maxi could function the same in someone's wardrobe if you want something like this, but the Osmo one's not available anymore. Okay, and the third piece of finery that I just could not stop wearing whenever I had a reason to, after I broke the seal on it, because that's the thing. I got these at a thrift shop. They are by Zimmerman, which is amazing. It was an amazing find at the thrift shop. They are full length, like incredibly long, silk chiffon, wide leg, dramatically wide leg, leopard print pants. And they're a little bit too big for me. So they too sit very low on the waist, have a very low crotch, and are really, really long, like draping on the floor. But that's how I like it. They're so good. I love these pants so much. I got them because when I came across them in the thrift shop, I was like, how can I not? Like, I can't leave this on the table. I have to get these, even though I don't really have a lifestyle that supports this choice. I was like, I still am going to buy them. So I got them and they sat there and I was like, maybe I shouldn't have got those. Then I went to Creators and Friends in the Catskills. It was like it's a retreat for people who make social media content. And there was an evening for which the dress code was something you have nowhere else to wear it. Like all dressed up and nowhere to go. No, that's not what it was. It was just like a look that you have, but you don't have anywhere to wear it. So I wore these pants for that. And after that, I was like, the seal was broken and all of a sudden it was very easy to wear them. And so I wore them to my friend's birthday party, wore them to dinner. Now I'm just like wearing them and I will continue to wear them. They are something else that I could see working for holiday, but also working for summer. Love to see it. Okay, let's talk about outerwear. One of my favorite categories. For light outerwear, my most worn piece of light outerwear was also a garment that Fabric sent me when I was going to do a sponsored video for them for me to like model and review. It's like a cross between a barn jacket and a cropped trench coat. It has the qualities of a trench coat, but it's very cropped. And it has like the ruggedness and the collar of a barn jacket. So sort of a hybrid of a few different styles that are trending right now. I mean, that's what Fabric, they often have their finger on the pulse because it's like designers who are really deep in the fashion world making collections that are things that excite them right now. Right. So often a lot of the things that I have that have given me a chance to try out what's trending now and like see how it feels to wear it have come to me through working with Fabric. And this jacket is one of them. Turns out a barn jacket is such a cool thing to have. It just makes everything, it's again, mixing high and low, right? It takes the edge of preciousness and that feeling of labored assembly. It takes that edge off of any outfit and just instantly like elevates. I don't know. I just felt like this jacket was always the solution. I felt so good in this jacket until it got too cold to wear it. But I wore it a lot. It was my most worn jacket between the time when it arrived and the time when it stopped being seasonally appropriate. My second most worn jacket, like piece of light outerwear, is the Marcy shirt from Ozma, the one that matches the Una jeans. It's made out of the same like vintage washed black denim as the Una jeans. So it's a shirt and I guess in theory, I could wear it just as a shirt. Actually, maybe I should start doing that because I really, really love this. I was wearing it as a layer, like a light layer. I really, really love it. But two things. One, I often was wearing the Una jean. And so there was one time I think when I wore the Una jeans and the Marcy shirt that matched it and it was like a matched set. It's fine, but it wasn't like I wanted to do that every single day. But I was wearing the Una jeans like a lot, like almost every single day. There were a lot of times in this sort of late summer, fall, when I went to put on outerwear and I was like, oh, I'm going to wear the Marcy shirt as my jacket. It's so cute. But then I put it on and I was like, oh, I'm wearing the Una jeans. So now it's so matchy. And then I would switch out the Marcy shirt for the lightweight barn jacket from Fabric. That happened to me like every other day, There were a lot of times when I just wore it as my jacket. It's so, so, so cute. But I feel like because of it matching the Una jean, I didn't get a lot of wear out of it, as much wear out of it as I otherwise would have if I hadn't been wearing the Una jean on repeat. But I actually think if I was wearing the Marcy shirt as a shirt, like buttoned up without another shirt underneath, it might make more sense to me to wear it with the Una jean, to be wearing like denim on denim, like black washed denim on vintage black washed denim. I'm going to try that. I'm going to wear that outfit tomorrow and see how I feel. The Marcy shirt from Ozma is a beautiful, beautiful multi-season, multi-purpose garment. That's all I'm trying to say. Let's talk about heavy outerwear. So now we are really getting into the realm. I feel like with outerwear, we're really getting into the realm of things that I have only had the good fortune to fall in love with and to wear on repeat because of the work that I do, because of working with brands. Because for example, the Quince taupe, like the minimal taupe overcoat from Quince, I've had that since last winter. It was definitely my my most worn nicer overcoat. Like if I wasn't wearing a puffer or something, like a nice polished coat, it was definitely my most worn for the second half of last winter. And so that is being lumped into the time that I've spent wearing this jacket this year. I could have seen myself, Quince did send me that, but I could have seen myself buying it at some point if I was looking for a coat like that, right? That silhouette. And I've been very satisfied with it. It is warm. I sized up to a large, so it's sufficiently oversized and, has some good length on me, goes over sweaters really well. It has a very beautiful sort of slightly nubby texture. It's a good, solid, and good-looking coat, and I really like the color. I wore that a lot last winter. This winter, it's been the coats from Fabric. That plaid textured mohair coat, I didn't think I would fall for it so hard. I love the cocoon shape. I am attracted to the colors of it, but it's just a little bit, it's out on a limb for me right now, right? It's like the opposite of the minimal. Oh, I forgot about the lily silk coat. I might be wearing that almost as much. Gosh, I'll show you footage of all of these coats, okay? I'm wearing all of these coats kind of equally. Right now, the mohair plaid coat from Fabric, which it functions like the Gucci pink glasses. That's what it is, the why. So that's the why of this coat. When I'm really dressed down, when I'm wearing a pretty boring outfit overall, or even sometimes when I'm wearing like just sweatpants and a sweatshirt and I'm about to go out the door and I grab him for a coat, oftentimes I'll be like, aha, I'm going to take this plaid mohair coat that's covered with texture and color. It is going to be the one thing that gives the outfit a bit of character, right? And that makes me feel a bit more like myself and sort of settles me into that part of myself that doesn't take myself too seriously. It really functions that way, but it's a coat, which is so glorious, right? However, it is a wildly expensive coat that I would not have been able to afford to buy myself. That's like the caveat at the beginning of the video really applies here. The same is true of that lily silk coat. The lily silk coat is like the most refined, most luxurious version of the quince one, right? The quince one is the one I could have seen myself buying myself if I needed a coat like that. The lily silk one is like, it's like the plastique tiara of my coat collection. Like plastique tiara is to the entire group of Rue girls who have ever competed on RuPaul's Drag Race as that lily silk coat is to all of the rest of my coats. And I just mean in terms of caliber, in terms of like the level of perfection, in terms of how exquisite. That coat is just impossibly exquisite. But as I said in the video in which I talked about it, I've been wearing it like it's not precious. I've been mixing high and low with it. I've been wearing it over sweatsuits. And I feel so lucky to have that coat. I have been wearing it a lot. So I've been wearing that coat a lot. I've been wearing the plaid coat a lot. And last winter I wore the one from Quince a lot. I'm running out of steam. Are you? How are you doing? We are closing in on it, my friends. I only have one sock that I have worn a lot. I've just been wearing one sock. So I don't wear socks very often. I really love to wear my shoes without socks. I've pushed the envelope as far into the winter as I possibly could without getting too cold. I rarely wear a sock, but when I do, I am usually wearing these very simple bamboo socks. I think I bought like a couple of 4-packs of them last year or the year before or something in a cream color. And I bought some in gray, but it's the cream colored ones that I'm always wearing. I just have like 20 of these socks, these cream colored Sarah Simple bamboo socks. They're so affordable. I think it's like a 6-pack for $14 or something like that. And it's just the bamboo fabric. They're thin. So my feet slide really well into like my loafers or my boots. When I'm wearing them, I like the cream color. I think it's nice if it's peeking out from under a pant, and they're breathable. They don't hold on to stink because they're bamboo. They wash beautifully. They fit nice and sleekly. They're just a cute, simple sock, and they're my only socks. Apart from like some chunky wool socks I sometimes wear around the house. But my most worn socks for sure, the core of my sock collection, which just isn't very big to begin with, is a little pile of these Sarah Simple bamboo socks. Shoes. It was hard, y'all. It was hard with shoes because I got to the point where I was like, I have to be honest with myself. Like if we're talking about most worn, I just have a lot to say about shoes. I've made a whole videos about shoes. I'll link my shoe videos. Okay. I have a really informative, if I do say so myself, video about just shoe suggestions specifically for the workplace. I think that's what the brief was there. A lot of how I feel and what I think about shoes is in that video. So I'll link that video. Sorry, not sorry, your shoes are ruining your outfits. Was that video? That might be that video. I love my shoes. I love to complete an outfit with shoes. I have several pairs of shoes that I wear. However, far and away, my most worn shoes this year have been my 2 pairs of brown loafers, both of which were wonderful brand gifts, like both of these brands sent these loafers to me, and they're two of the best things I've ever received in the mail. Like two of the best opportunities I've ever had as a reviewer, because these are beautiful shoes. So one pair that I've had for longer is from Freda Salvador. I've talked about them before. I've shown them to you. They're this incredibly dark, kind of espresso brown, slightly patent, not the shiniest of patent. It's like a slightly matte patent leather. They're so beautiful. I'd say they're slightly mahogany color, but they're really dark, like so dark that they almost look black. They're really sturdy, very, very sturdy. It is like solid, very, very thick. The walls of the loafer are very thick. They're just going to age so well. And they already have. I mean, I've had them for a couple of years already. They've broken in beautifully. They are very comfortable. They're very supportive, sturdy. You know what I mean? They can walk forever in them, and they're pretty good in weather. You know, maybe not like the deep snow, but they're pretty good in weather. They are just one of the most gorgeously made pairs of shoes I have ever seen. And I love the way they add to an outfit. Like, I just love what a loafer adds, which is true of the other pair too, right? Both of these pairs of shoes do the same thing for an outfit, and I've like worn them interchangeably. So there's the Freda Salvador ones, which I just described. A bit more recently, but still I've had them for most of this year. This brand LOQ sent me their loafers. I think they're the Elba loafer, perhaps. Also brown, but they're like a softer, more chocolatey shade of brown, much more visibly brown. A gorgeous, kind of mucky shade of muddy milk chocolate. I love the color of these shoes. They are a little narrower than the Freda Salvador loafers, and I was worried at the beginning they were going to be too narrow because I don't have super wide feet, but I don't have narrow feet either. However, they're also much thinner. Like the leather's much thinner. They're softer loafers. And they broke in like more completely than the Freda Salvador loafers ever will. They softened quite a lot and became really easy for me to slide my foot into, and very accommodating of the width of my foot after a couple of wears. They are easier to get on. They're easier for me to get my foot into them now than the ones from Freda Salvador. For that reason, I think I wear them a little bit more these days, but both of them I just love. I love the school shoe. That's like what the fashion girlies are calling it right now, the trend towards the school shoe with an otherwise like kind of put together outfit or an otherwise fashion outfit. I have been wearing brown loafers with outfits that I never dreamed I would wear brown loafers with. Like my past self would look forward into the future and see me doing this and be like, what? Loafers with that? And then she would probably be like, wow, but you're serving. Because I feel I am. I feel a loafer is the shoe solution to every outfit right now. And I just have really leaned into it. I'm really leaning into the academia of it all, the dorkiness of it all, the school shoe of it all. And when I tell you that these two pairs of brown loafers have been upon my feet more than any other shoes this year, you know all that you need to know. What beautiful shoes. Okay, bags. I filmed a whole video about all of my bags, and I refer you to that video because the top 5 bags in that video are probably my top 5 carried bags of the year. Although the bag that I featured in my gift guide at the end, the Quiana oversized Linnea tote, is rapidly sort of overtaking them. I've been carrying that bag a lot. I will show you footage of that too. But I think that probably before that bag came along, my top 3 most carried bags of the year were the Freya Hudson bag, that little berry croc. The colorway is called berry croc. It is that vegan leather, sort of small but accommodating, effortless, cool girl bag. I just love that bag. I always am taking out that bag. I've found it very convenient too that it's vegan leather. So if it's raining or even when it was snowing, I was like, oh, I'm going to grab that one because it doesn't feel as vulnerable as leather. And I just love how balanced it is without trying too hard. It fits just enough stuff most days. It adds a little bit of texture and nuance to an outfit because of that color, but without being too statement. I explained myself in the bags video, so I won't do it again here. I'm just sitting here before you and telling you that the Freya Hudson bag has absolutely emerged as like a jewel among jewels, like among my most worn bags of the year. The Fabrique Rialto bag also I carried so much this year and I'm continuing to carry. It fits my laptop and it fits a ton of stuff and it's so upscale looking. Like it's so expensive looking and so polished looking. There have actually even been times when I like chose a different bag instead of it because it is so clearly like designer looking. Like I've gone into a couple of environments or met people for lunch or something at times when I was like, I don't want to necessarily look like I'm carrying a very expensive calfskin designer bag. Like that's just not what I want to be carrying right now. And so I took all my stuff out of the Fabric Rialto bag and put it in something else. So that just is to tell you how how impeccable that bag is. I mean, it speaks of its luxuriousness. It is visually articulate about its quality. It is just really amazing. And so, I also carried it a lot because I am into that. Of all of my bags that work for carrying around like 3 books and my Kindle and my laptop and all the other stuff I need, plus like a diaper and a packet of wipes, it's the one that looks the most luxury, like really, really like runway type luxury, And then I had to give sort of an honorable mention to the yin yang bag from Mercules because I did carry that bag a lot in the summer. I haven't been carrying it so much this fall, but for a while there, it was like always my top choice. And it probably will come back again in the spring and summer of next year. It's a really great bag, really cool and different for me. And I talked about that a lot in my bag video too. So again, I'll link the bag video. And then since the Linnea tote from Koyana has gotten here, I have carried it more than anything else. And it has eclipsed them all, except for maybe the Freya Hudson bag. I've like gone back and forth. It's my small bag right now, and the Linnea tote is my big bag. So that is it. Thank you for being here. I hope that you enjoyed this as much as I did, in spite of it all. I love this. I love doing this. I hope I was able to stick to the brief and explain why each of these things got worn as much as it did. Let me zoom out for a second and see if I can come to any conclusions. I'm not really in a fit state to do that, but I'm going to try. I'm trying to think like, what are the reasons, like the answer to the question, why? What are the reasons that got repeated over and over? So one was the Gucci sunglasses and the plaid coat. Both, I had the same reason for reaching for both of them, which is that they both add a little bit of a sense of humor to an outfit, to an otherwise blah outfit. So that's good for me to file away. It's good for me to be consciously aware of the fact that I like having a piece or two in my wardrobe, especially an accessory, something that I can wear on top of my clothes rather than like a core item that provides that service. That's good to know. It's good to articulate that to myself. Comfort and washability are things that I talked about a lot. I kept saying it's so comfortable, didn't I? I feel that way. If I may not have said that about all these things, but looking at the list, I like feel that way. A lot of these things are sort of drapey and dramatic in their silhouettes, and that is all sort of aligned with comfort for me. That's a big one that I might not have actually said out loud, but then also like the durability factor. So many of these things are garments that it's very easy to clean, like to just wash and dry. Not in the dryer, of course, but put on a washing line or like lay it flat to dry. They're structurally sound in a way that makes them come out of the wash as their best selves. So I'm thinking about like the Ozma boucle vest, like washing it, laying it flat to dry, and then after it dries, going to get it and picking it up when it's like kind of crispy and dry and being like, yes, this is just perfect. It's going to look and feel so good to wear this again now that it is clean. It's a little bit weird to say it that way, but it's just a lot of clothes aren't like that. A lot of clothes are poorly made in a way that makes it feel like they've been distressed by the washing process. A lot of things are on this list because they're the opposite of that. It's like they are aging into a greater beauty than they had before. It's true of the accessories too, the shoes, Okay, I'm not in a fit state to draw any more conclusions. Maybe you can draw them for me and put them in the comments. You know what I want to know? What was your most worn garment this year? Or one of them? Like what's the most interesting, most worn garment that springs to your mind? Please share. Thank you for being here. And don't forget to take extra good care of yourself so that you can be the most effective version of yourself as you do your work in the world.